Hi. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here for the DIY gift wrapping workshop. I'm Melarie. I'm an artist. I specialize in illustration and modern lettering. So I'm excited to get started. So we're going to switch to the overhead view and we'll go over the supplies. So here I have the Tombow double brush pen. I have a pencil. You can use any pencil you want. And then I have two Tombow calligraphy pens as well. I have scissors, twine, and then I do have my paper here. It's going to be craft paper. And I also have double-sided tape. So if y'all are ready, and I also have my gift, okay? All right, so the best part of gifting is personalization. I think this is the perfect way to do that with gift wrapping. You can also personalize gift bags and things like that. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing you want to do, and if you're working hands-on, like Felicia said, it'll be available tomorrow if you want to go through and work on your gifts then. But I just wanted to go over the first step, which is cutting your paper. So this is my gift. I'm gifting a friend a puzzle from my shop. So I just wanted to make sure that all the sides would fit. When you go through and roll it up, you just want to make sure that the center overlaps here and that you have enough room on the ends to wrap the ends. So you want to give yourself a little bit more room to work with. More is better than less here. Just to make sure you have enough to cover your gifts. So from here, I like to gauge whether or not I should go all the way to the end, which I will in this case, and all the way to this end as well. So let's go to the next step. And also, I'll just go ahead and show you the examples again. I know you've seen like, let's put this down. And a little trick too to keep the paper from folding over, you want to go ahead and add some like double-sided tape to the surface that you're working on. I went ahead and did that just so it wouldn't roll when I'm using it. Let's see if I can go through and do this again. And just to give you an example of what we're working on today, although I will give you guys some illustration options and examples as well. And I really hope my tape can work. If not, we'll make it work. Here. All right, so here is an example of how your final gift would look. So we're gonna work on lettering, but we also have options for illustration. I'll show you back, I'll show you this gift as well. Nice, personalized, and very much like fun to do for your friends and family. So let's move that aside so that you guys can see me. All right. So these are examples. We'll start with illustration just to give you an idea of different illustrations you can do on your paper. So what I did here is I made about 2.5 to 3 inches wide of lines here, and at every center point of the vertical and horizontal lines, I drew an illustration. So it can either be mistletoe, a wreath, a tree, a bow. You can play around with playful lines for Christmas lights and things like that, which is really fun. I really love to do that. And kind of make a pattern in each corner. So these are just examples of illustrations that you can also add to your wrapping paper as well. So let's get started on a bit of a faux calligraphy crash course. So while you think about, while I'm teaching you the faux calligraphy, just think about what you want to include on your wrapping paper. It could be Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, cheers, joyful, joyful. It can also be like a happy New Year's gift, and things like that. So let's briefly go over some faux calligraphy, just so I can get, just a second. I think I hit my pencil. Okay, here we go. All right, so when you think of faux calligraphy, it's adding more weight to your downstrokes and lighter weight for your upstrokes. So for a quick example, the letter A. So this is me, just writing the letter A. Pretty simple, right? But what you notice is when you write downward, that weight is heavier than your upward strokes. Can everyone see my hand lettering here? Everybody good? All right, so this is your downstroke here, and this is your upstroke. And when you, we'll get to that. So, and this is your downstroke at the end. Simple, right? So what you would do is add an extra line here and color it in for your downstroke. And over here, you're gonna add another line to add the weight for the other downstroke of your letter A. So this is a great way to add some pizzazz, some sparkle to your hand lettering, or you could just go in with your actual hand lettering, which I think is really awesome because it's true to you. And if you're into calligraphy or brush lettering, you can also do that as well. So to determine what weight you want for your lettering for this particular workshop, if you want a heavier weight, if you're working with the brush lettering, you can easily do cursive. If you like to write in cursive, that'll be a great way to do it. If you want to do box lettering, or if you want to do all caps, that'll be fun as well. It's really up to you. I just wanted to show you, the example here of writing with a brush pen, sorry, or just doing faux calligraphy. So for the brush pen, and this is me working with the Tombow pen, which is a heavier weight. So if you want a lighter weight, you can try one of these two calligraphy pens, which I'll show you in a second. So the downstroke will be thicker, right? See that? And then you can do a lighter upstroke. The pressure will be lighter. And then you'll go down heavier with that weight, with the downward stroke. So that's down, up, and I wrote the A like this just so I can show you how it looks, right? Up, and then down here. Or you can just go in and letter. And also on the other side of the pen, we have just a regular fine line that you can use as well. And you can use that to go over your lettering on the wrapping paper. So down, up, and down, add the stroke, the downward stroke weight, and add this downward stroke weight. All right, so hopefully you thought about what you would like to letter on your paper. So what we're gonna go through now is how to measure, which is, I pretty much go, with what I'm feeling. If I wanna do wider lines, I do wider lines. If I want them to be smaller, which may take longer, I go ahead and do smaller lines. So it's really up to you. Oh, let me show you the calligraphy pen here so you can get an idea of how the strokes will work with this pen. It's a lighter weight, but it's the same concept. So you'll go down here with a heavier weight, up with the light pressure, and down with heavy pressure. Cool? All right. So let's get into the all right, like I said earlier, the wrapping paper is gonna try to curl back. You have to keep it down. So I'm gonna take the double-sided tape and I'm gonna try to work this down so I can letter, because you wanna work with a flatter surface. That out. I'll scoop this over in just a second. Let me wrap this in. Let me take take this down. All right. Move my over a bit. Oh, sorry. All right, let's get to that. So first step, you want to go over your paper with a pencil, especially if you're working with lettering and you're a perfectionist and you want it to be perfect. You want to lay that out. I typically like to go in and just letter because it just makes it more personalized, more like, true to my lettering, true to, me and the person that I'm giving the gift to. But if you want to measure it, you go through. All right, so you want to start either diagonally, you can do it diagonally, or you can go straight across. I love to do a diagonal line just to give like a variation of what the entire paper looks like. I think it looks really cool like that. So I always go diagonally. So in this case, I would give about 2.5 inches in between each line going across because I love my letters to be thick and large to cover the entire page, and then it's quicker. Because if you're wrapping your gifts for your friends and family, it'll take forever if you do it really small. But if it's a special case, by all means, do a smaller line. So don't go as heavy as me because that was really heavy, okay? All right, so this is about 3 inches, right? Yeah. So I'm just gonna, let's do 3 inches. Let's do 2. Sorry. So I'm gonna do about 2 inches in between each. So I'm gonna have that line there. What was that, 9? Okay. And just go straight across, because what we're gonna do after this is just add the lines with the ruler. And if you have a larger ruler, that is great because this sheet of paper is pretty large, and I can imagine like any sheet would be pretty large at this point. All right, so.
Hey, Melarie?
Yes.
Quick question. There's a question asking about the handout, if there's a handout, and I know we discussed it prior to class. Could you kind of go over how they can get a handout from you?
Yes, so right now you can, we can track it by just email. If you email me at hello@melarieodalucy.com, and we'll add the links at the end, right, Felicia? If you're interested in receiving a practice sheet or a guide, I can send it to you if you would email me. We tried to set it up, but my computer is acting wrong, but thank you for that, whoever asked that. All right. Go. So I'm just gonna add a really light line. It doesn't have to be exact, like, so we're gonna go through and erase this at the end. You just wanna kind of get an idea of where you should letter, so you won't veer off too much. All right. So get those lines in there. So on this one, I'm gonna write Happy Holidays. Okay, put this one here. Go. I want to give us enough time to write on our papers if we're working in real time. And by the way, I would love if you would tag me if you wrap your papers today, or whenever you wrap your gifts this year. Like, if you're doing personalized lettering or illustration that you learned from this class, I would really love to see it. Make sure you tag me too, because I would love to see that. I always like to see what people choose as far as like illustration or any lettering or any words. And you know, another really great idea would be to also write a note. Like the entire paper can be a note, or it can be your friends, or your mom or your spouse or whatever. Like it can be lyrics to your favorite song, or I'm sorry, their favorite song. You can get really creative with this and really personalize it. The only downside to that is it'll get torn up like while opening the gift. But it's the, you know, the thought that counts with this, and I think it's a great way to add some personalization. I almost thought about like adding lyrics to a song or a poem if you're a writer. It's just so many different ways this can go. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm gonna put my ruler here because I need to keep that paper down and my double-sided tape is not helping me out. Whatever you can make it work with. All right, so I'm gonna go in with the Tombow pen, the brush pen, the double-sided brush pen. And I just wanna give y'all an idea of how it looks, because I'll give you an example of, you know, tracing, and then I'll just go through and finish it because I just like to let it flow. So we'll start here at the top. So I'm gonna start, the idea is to fit all of the paper, all over the place. So I'm going to act as if I'm writing happy here, right? So happy. And I'm doing calligraphy, and this would be a really cool time to like see how I do the up strokes and the down strokes and things like that, right? So we're gonna put PPY. All right, in this case, if you're doing, everyone good, everyone can see, I hope everyone can see this. If you're doing faux calligraphy, you can go through and pretty much create a guide for yourself to do the upstrokes and downstrokes. So you'll know if you're doing a brush pen, you can add the pressure there. If you're just adding the line for the downstroke, you'll know exactly where you should add the shading, well, the line for the downstroke. And you know, this would actually be fun in pencil too, I'm just saying. And you can use any color you want, any color. If you want to use red, use red. If you want to use another brush pen, if you're into like watercolor or ink and you want to use a dip brush and you want to go over it that way, sky's the limit with this. So I want y'all to have some fun. Happy holidays. So I'll add the line here. This is me being particular about like how this looks, right? And then I'll add holidays here. And I also like to add a tune to my lettering and my gift wrapping personalization DIYs. All right, happy holidays. Add my S, and it's okay if you go off the edge. It doesn't have to go all the way to the edge. That is stressful, that is not fun. The idea is to have fun and to make this like a special moment for you and the person that you're giving the gift to. Don't overthink it, okay? All right, so we're gonna add the downstroke here. There. Downstroke here, up there, down here, up here, right? So we won't touch that. Downstroke here for the eye. Up here, we won't, you know, bother that. Downstroke up, downstroke here, and so on and so forth. So what I'm gonna do from here is show you how you could go over it with the fine tip and how you can go over it with the brush. The brush will be a little quicker because you'll have to go over it twice whenever you do the faux calligraphy. But if you want to take, you know, if you want to like try something new, I think it'll be really cool to try the calligraphy brush or try the Tombow brush pen. So, all right, ready? Let's do this. I want to give us enough time to go through the entire paper, especially if you're working in those. Let's do it. All right, from here. So we have our downstroke. So let's do the calligraphy pen. Down, up, down, up, down. Also, don't be afraid to make a mistake. It happens. And guess what? I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy to see the gift that's inside the box, right? So, all right. And if you're going through with the fine tip of the Tombow brush pen, the Tombow double-sided pen, we're going to go down. Oh. I'll try to write on the side so you can see it. So, O. So you'll just trace your line. Bring that D over a little bit. All right. Do we have any questions at this point? I'm just going through and adding the downstrokes.
No questions in the chat. Everyone's just enjoying watching you put them together.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So we have our downstroke here with the O. Coloring that in. Oh. Add your lines for the L. And don't worry, if you don't go over the lines, it's totally fine. We're going to go through and erase. By the way, my eraser ran away from me. All right, so we're going to go through there. Is there anyone doing this in real time? Let us know in the chat.
Melarie, there's a user wanting to know if you could just bring it down a tad bit so they could see a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. All right, hold on just a second. Let me work it out. Just a second. All right.
All right. Just the paper, I think is what it is, but I think you have the paper taped.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right, let me see. I'll bring it over so you can see it. And then we'll just move it around once I get closer to the middle. How is that? I'm gonna move my little gift over. She can actually help me because that'll actually be great.
Well, since you're moving it, we have a few questions that are coming in.
Okay.
There's a question asking, must you use lines or can you freehand it? If you need lines, do you erase it later?
Yes, absolutely. So you want to erase it later if you use lines, but you can definitely freehand it. That's usually how I do it too, because it's, you know, your lettering, your handwriting, and I think like the idea of a personal note or lyrics or anything on wrapping paper is a pretty cool touch to your gift. So you can do whatever you really want to do with this. You don't need to do lines, but for anyone who wants a guide or some direction with where they're writing their words and they want it to be a little cleaner, this step would be for them. And thank you for asking that question. All right. So I'm gonna start lettering the entire paper. If y'all are ready, let me go through and like clean this up the way.
Since we're not getting a lot of questions, I'm going to ask you one. How long would it take you to do the full page normally?
Normally, it would take me about like 10 minutes. Like once I go through, because I know we're pressed for time, so it'll take me about 10 minutes. But this is just to give you an idea of how everything will be laid out. It doesn't really take that long. I would think if you do the tracing part or the faux calligraphy part, it'll probably take you about 20 to 30 minutes to complete the entire thing because you'll have to go over it multiple times. But if you're just lettering through, about 15 to 20 minutes and then to wrapping it. So, yeah. Now you get to just see me letter. So if we have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them now. I'm just giving you a run through of how this would work in real time. Did anyone say whether or not they were doing this now?
So far, we haven't had anyone respond, but I do want to let you know that Michelle says she loves it.
Yes. And also, like, since I started with happy and I started with holiday here, I'm gonna continue with holiday here, happy holiday. So that's how I'm like running with this, just to make sure the same words aren't like exactly the same area. Holidays.
And so we do have Michelle saying that she is going to do it later.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it makes the gift wrapped look fancy.
Yes, yes.
And Sherry says she's doing it right now.
Oh, Sherry, I wish I could see.
And so Elle is asking, how much lettering do you get out of your pen or the maker? So from your
so my pens typically, I don't use them every day, but it typically lasts me about a month or so. I do a lot of lettering for work and things like that. So it'll last you a couple months, especially if you're not doing it every day. Yeah, for sure. And it depends on what surface you're using it on, because some surfaces require like the ink to use more ink for some reason. And be very careful whenever you do use it on a particular surface, because it could like damage the tip of the brush. But yeah, it lasts a while for sure. So I think if you want to be safe, oh, I was supposed to put happy there, but it's all good. We're rolling with it. Just get 2 pens if you plan to do more than one gift.
And so Vicky says she's definitely going to do it later and that it looks beautiful.
Thank you, Vicky.
Annette says, thanks for saying up, meaning thin, and down for thick strokes. That it makes more sense by saying it to myself than without.
Awesome. And this is a great way too to kind of tap into lettering. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to personalize like envelopes when you get to your friends and family as well. Like you want to send a card, like it's a great way to add some personalization. All right. So I'm gonna run through this bad boy, pardon me, because I want to give us time to get.
So I'm going to ask you a quick question while you're doing that as well. So as you're writing and as you're getting to the end, it's kind of going off onto the surface. Do you have a different paper underneath? And will it come off with just wiping it, or do you need alcohol to get the mark off the table?
You'll definitely need alcohol. This is my art table, so I always get something on it. But if you do not want it to get on your surface, go ahead and add a paper beneath your wrapping paper for that purpose, because it'll just, be really fun to like add the cutoff part to make it like a store-bought wrapping paper. It kind of gives it the same vibe. So definitely you want to add another surface just to make sure. But if you did anything like me, I'm an artist and I get things everywhere. And it'll come right off though. If it's a cloth, you want to be careful with the cloth, just because that'll be a little harder to get out than like your regular like desk tabletop.
And thank you, Desmond, for putting your question back in the chat. Melarie did say you do want to erase your pencil lines
At the end,
at the end. And so Elle is asking, does the tip have an angle, or are you using pressure when to get the variation of width?
Yes, the tip, I do apply pressure at an angle. So this is the paper. Well, no, I'm trying to give a good example. So when I'm lettering, I'm applying the pressure here and drawing the line. And when I go up, I'm only applying pressure lightly at the tip. You know what I mean? Yes. I wish I can like bring it down and flip it so y'all can see it that way. But that's typically how I would apply the pressure. So here I'm only going up with the tip and down again with at the angle, adding pressure at the angle. Cool. And then I'm gonna add another line as if I'm writing holiday here. All right, holiday.
I'm just gonna answer Michelle's quick question. She's asking if the duo is a water-based or alcohol, and these are water-based pens.
Absolutely. All right, we're good with time. I hope you guys are enjoying my lettering session here.
And so there's another question. Do you seal the paper, or will it, or will it smear or anything like that?
Do I seal it? No, it won't smear. Just give it time to dry, especially before you go into to erase the lines. You want to make sure that you are allowing it to dry first, just to be safe, but it dries fairly quickly. This already. Okay. Imagine that P would be like right here. All right. Oh, see, I seared it here. Definitely give it some time to dry, but it typically dries quickly. Just be careful. Trying to get it to stay in place. All right, so we're gonna start here.
while Valerie is writing, just want to remind you that you guys can follow her on Instagram. And I do not want to mess up your last name, Mallory. So if you can give your last name one more time.
Odalucy. Melarie Odalucy.
And that is the same as her website as well.
Yes.
As far as the handout, we did mention, and Kathleen put it in the chat for us, but I am going to copy and put her email in there again, just in case you want to email her in order to get any handout or how-tos.
Yes, please do. And it is okay if the letters overlap. Just think of it as you covering all of the entire surface, just to give it some more of a pattern. I will say, whenever I have projects where I have to letter and letter and letter, it's so soothing. I hope it's just as soothing for you. This is something that I used to do like in my downtime. I would just letter the alphabet. I would letter names. I would letter lyrics. I have a huge canvas in my house of lyrics from my husband and I. Like, we have a favorite song, and we had it, well, I lettered it with ink and brush, and it's just incredibly soothing. Uh-oh, I made a good spot there.
Now, I know this is supposed to be a joyous occasion, but as I'm watching you write it, I think about many times in class that some other classmate have caused us to get in trouble and write sentences on the board.
Oh God, I remember that. You know, I didn't have a problem with that. I did have a problem too whenever we would have spelling tests in school. We would have to write the word over and over on a sheet of paper. And I was so particular about my hand lettering when I was younger that it was just my moment to perfect it. I was like, yeah. But I remember that.
And so Miss Kathy said that lettering is gorgeous and is soothing to watch you create a gift wrap.
So I'm so glad you like it. I really wanted y'all to see this part just so we could discuss like going off the paper. I always find it soothing to letter, so I know like sometimes it can be like pretty soothing for others. And just so you can kind of pick up on the idea of the upstroke and downstroke and give it a try for yourself. I hope everyone has this Tombow pen. I think it's a great pen to start with if you want to do folk calligraphy with the fine tip and brush calligraphy with the brush tip of the pen. But I really wanted y'all to get an idea of how, you know, it looks to letter and apply pressure with your up and down strokes. So. All right, we're near the end. If I'm honest, I had to look online to see the right way to wrap to wrap gifts and how people did it. I had a friend, all right, so since Happy and Holiday are here, Holiday and Happy are here, I'm gonna start with Happy. Probably go off, but we'll just do it like this. But she would, I put Holiday. It's all good, all good. She would wrap gifts so beautifully, and so like there are so many different ways you can wrap gifts. But the way she did it was really nice. So I was always intimidated by that because, you know, I'm the best gift wrapper. This part I got it down, but wrapping it with the tape, I did my best. Okay, I did my best. All right, so we're down to the end, and I'll just put Happy here and try to fit it in as best as I can, because this part will more than likely be at the edge of the box, so you won't really be able to see it. All right. All right, so this is the end result. All right, I'm gonna take that tip off, the end. off. So this is how it would look beforehand. Fun! I love it. I love how it looks at the end. Okay, I can't find my eraser, but this is when I would erase the entire paper. And I actually want to get into wrapping it for you so you can see how it looks at the end. So I'm gonna turn it over. We need to make sure that we don't make a total mess of the paper. So there's that part, right? So I'm gonna wrap the paper. I'm gonna wrap the puzzle box here. Turn it over this way. Make sure it's nice and tight. Spot. All right, and we're gonna. Everyone can see. I'm actually killing two birds with one stone here because this is an actual gift for a friend. So I get to knock this out and show you how to gift wrap with the DIY. All right, here we go. All right, and then we're gonna take this in. So I like to turn this part over a bit. How far I want it to go. Add a little here for some reason. Okay, it's working. Hold on. Over. Tight. I'm gonna add. Perfect. Here we're gonna cut some off. So go down.
Melarie, when you're wrapping your paper or wrapping your gift, how do you determine which you would put face down, or does it matter the way you put your present in your paper?
So I don't think it matters what side you put your present in there. I know this is the bottom and I should have flipped it. Thank you for sure. But you should definitely flip it over and make the top of your gifts face down at the bottom, because that's where all of the wrapping and all of the bows will go, for sure. Take it here. A little bit more room. And what we're gonna do at the end is, after I cut this part, is slide it down a little bit just to give more room to the other side. You don't have to worry about cutting both sides. Inside. Yeah, I'm gonna take that down. We're gonna do both sides. Put this in at the bottom. I'm gonna push these two sides down and make your crease. Other side, same way. Looking at the camera, I just realized I made a total mess with that ink. All right, and then you're gonna go through. Right here, any loose ends. And overlap them here.
Melarie, really quick before you put your tape, before you seal it, Ms. Annette wants to know, could you raise it up so they can see your creases? Or
oh, for sure. I'll show you that on this end. I'm just gonna let me seal it here and then I'll show you exactly how it looks when I fold it over on the other side.
Great.
Thank you for pointing that out. All right, put that down. Okay, so here, I'm gonna cut some down. So let me do that really quick. I kind of, I just eye where I think it would go, but I would give it like a couple inches outside of the box. Make sure you seal it all the way. What actually would be fun with this is if you did every other line a different color or every other word a different color. So what I'm gonna do is bring this down. Increase it here. And there, that's how I did it when I did it upside down. And then we're gonna do the same to the other side. A little bit more than I thought, but it'll still go. This down. And I'll bring this crease over. I really love the sharp edges at the end. And then we'll go through and tape it down here. Just like that. Oh, that looks so good. I love it. Anyone who's an expert at wrapping gifts, let me make it. I'm making this up as I go. No, this is how I've been wrapping gifts for a long time. So I really hope you approve. All right, and then we're gonna seal the other end. And there you have it. Look at that. Okay, y'all, I need you to send me a picture of your gifts when you finish them up. Make sure you get that double-sided tape down good. Just put it here at the edge. Make sure it's good. Actually, you can't see it, but see that? Love it. Okay, so now we're gonna put twine on. Get your scissors and your twine. All right. So cut just enough, and then we can worry about cutting anything extra at the end. So this is about how much I added here. So, sorry. So we take it from this side, right? Turn it over, twirl it, bring it across, bring it to the other end, tighten it there, flip it back over, and then you'll tie it here. Tie it here. And I like to double knot it just to so it won't loosen up too much. So we'll tighten it there. And then add your bow.
I just want you to know you're getting a lot of great comments, that is so beautiful and that this was so easy.
Yes, it's not as hard. It's not as hard as you think, and it's a great touch to your gift. So I really hope that y'all have some fun with this year, and definitely tag me and let me know when you do it. I really want to see it. If you want to DM me if you don't post it, or you want to email me, I would love to see what you all come up with. This is so much fun. So much fun. And this is your final product. And if you would like to add ribbon, here's an example. If you want to add, some additional pieces to your gift wrapping, this is all here. So I really hope y'all enjoyed it. Have so much fun with this. It's supposed to be fun. And holidays and gift giving and spending time with family is supposed to be a joyous time. And I think that this is a great way to add that and add a huge hug with your gift when you wrap it. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Y'all let me know if you have any questions. If you have any more questions about calligraphy, what different ideas as far as illustration you want to add to, I'll be happy to share that with you. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much.